It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 4th of February, 2020. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to the English edition of Ora News. My name is Christopher, bringing you the only update of the local Albanian news translated into English. U.S. Ambassador Yuri Kim has participated in the certification of polygraph experts organized by the Ministry of Interior. During her speech, she emphasized the importance of justice reforms. According to Kim, resolving justice reform issues is one of the key elements needed to be addressed. The ambassador stated that the U.S. will assist Albania in this endeavor, as well as other tasks. The advancement of justice reform is one of the key elements of service to the minister. Albania has the law on SPAC, which means everyone is subject to a polygraph test before they are become a part of the National Bureau of Investigation, an important opportunity to fight corruption in Albania. The polygraph unit will check all candidates participating in National Bureau of Investigation. The U.S. will help you with this task and others along the way. Investigation of corruption and the rule of law is absolutely necessary, Yuri Kim says. The Democratic Party has reacted to the anti-KCK package by Legal Secretary Qëllim Gjata. In a statement to the media, Gjata said that Rama does not fight organized crime because he is organized crime himself. According to him, anti-KCK is a hypocritical propaganda to deceive Albanians and internationals alike. Edi Rama does not intend to fight organized crime because he is organized crime himself. He is the trafficker who planted Albania with cannabis and was never caught by the police. He is a convict who drives traffic from prison and receives tenders and concessions from his government. He is the criminal who steals votes and threatens voters with impunity, Qëllim Gjata said. He stated that Rama did not allow the seizure of Edmond Bojko's property nor the arrest of Sajmir Tahiri. After Edmond Bojko, Talon Balca's trafficker associate, Sajmir Tahiri, is another example of Edi Rama's failure of his double standards. Instead of ridiculing state police with poorly designed operations, Edi Rama should allow his police to target Sajmir Tahiri's assets. Rama's former interior minister, who has made history by filling Albania with cannabis, is one of the ideal subjects of Edi Rama's propaganda law. Sajmir Tahiri is accused of trafficking through corruption in the justice system, living a luxurious life with the state's money, opening new businesses, and even challenging everyone by paying 20,000 euros to lobby American companies. Polls show that Albanians do not trust Edi Rama and know that the so-called KCK law is another hypocritical propaganda to deceive those and internationals who are demanding a real fight against organized crime to start negotiations with the EU. Edi Rama has no intention of fighting organized crime because he did not allow police to seize the property of drug trafficker Edmond Bojko, a friend of dangerous criminal Aldo Bare, and associate of Talent Bala. He did the same with Sajmir Tahiri as he holds Edi Rama hostage with the knowledge about crimes tied with Edi Rama. Edi Rama intends only to create displays of propaganda with police abused and betrayed in these past 6 years by Rama's co-governmental pact with organized crime. Meanwhile, Rama attacked analysts in opposition today for creating collective divisions through corrupt and biased television and news media outlets. On the second day of the operation, the Special Police Force unit, called the Force of Law, targeted the assets of two individuals. Sources say that it is about Lulzim Berisha in Durrës and Ardian Chapia in Elbasan. In his statement to the media, Operation Force of Law stated that 49-year-old Lulzim Berisha, a leader of a criminal group, author of criminal offenses, structured criminal group, narcotics trafficking, laundering of criminal offenses, and other criminal activity. In 2012, he was sentenced to life imprisonment by the Serious Crimes Court. In 2016, the Durrës Court of Appeal ruled for his release on bail. For Ardian Chapian, the OFL explains that he was arrested for the criminal offenses of attempted murder of a police officer and illegal possession of deadly weapons. The citizen is suspected of organizing a series of revenge murders in the city of Elbasan. It is expected that this citizen, together with his relatives, committed paid killings during the period of 2009 to 2016. These individuals must respond to all OFL inquiries in writing within 48 hours. Subsequently, replies will be sent to the SPAC, which within no more than 15 days must evaluate the file prepared by the OFL on the criminal activity of these entities, as well as their property. As soon as the OFL makes this assessment, the SPAC shall request a special court to seize assets of the entities, and after the seizure, no later than 6 months after, the special court shall decide on their eventual confiscation. The OFL clarifies that the seizure of any property, any business, motor vehicle, or land by the entities shall be administered by the special agency of the Ministry of Interior to be leased by the entity. The OFL also states that all subjects of the special law, convicts, or defendants during the last 30 years for the crimes provided in this law must pass the test for the legality of their property. There will be no exceptions and no exceptions at any attempt to alienate property using family members or acquaintances will aggravate both parties. Special law provides for a specific assessment and investigations of property for the family as well as of persons convicted or charged with organized crime and serious crimes, concludes the OFL's notice. Speaker of the National Council for European Integration, Rudina Haidari, demanded that politicians' assets be seized alongside the properties of criminal groups that have become the object of the anti-Kuchaka law. We must do everything possible to restore confidence in politics, and this cannot be achieved without fighting political corruption. Haidari's accusations were answered by the head of the SP parliamentary group, Talan Bala, who said that the government has proved resolute in the fight against corruption. Our battle with corruption has continued. The IT report is a matter of perception, and our task is to deepen the battle. While Justice Minister Etida Jonai considered 2020 as a crucial year for the establishment and functioning of the SPAC, I think that 2020 will be crucial in terms of implementing justice reform. Although based on reports, Albania appears to be a very corrupt country, and that these findings should be seen, said Finance Minister Anila Denai. I would greatly appreciate knowing the basis of the lineup, as it is very important to understand that if the information is perceptual, it is an element to judge. If it is with condemnation, I would welcome this report. During the meeting, participants brought attention to a 6-year WB report that states that the frequency of bribery in 2009 has increased twice as much since the previous year. After nearly 15 years of opposition, the leader of the Vetëvendosje movement, Albin Kurti, has formally assumed his post as Kosovo's prime minister. The first steps towards the executive were taken Tuesday on the red carpet under the hymn interpretation and salute of the ceremonial guard. The post was handed over to Kurti on Tuesday in a meeting with former Minister Behet Jolli in the absence of Ramush Haradinaj, who is in the United States. In the first meeting of his cabinet, 15 ministries will be split in half with the DLK and Serb minority, as Kurti promises to work for the citizens. The first 100 days will be filled with maximum commitment. We have seats, but I am convinced that we will be standing for a while on our feet due to the workload ahead of us. The Minister of Agriculture should spend more time with farmers and then in his office, and the Minister of Health should spend more time with doctors and patients. So we should not sit in our chairs and give orders from above. Rather, we should get down as close as possible to the citizens, because down there is our truth, and this is where our policies are seen, Albin Kurti said. Members of the government sworn in the day before the plenary session, which also brought the first woman to parliament, this position belonging to Vjosa Osmani from the DLK. The first official meeting of Parliament Speaker Osmani was held with the U.S. Ambassador to the country, Philip Kosnet. The replacement of President Hasim Tachi's picture in the background with the historic leader of Kosovo, Ibrahim Rugova, was yet another detail that caught attention. Kurti's government will face strong oppositions with Democrats once led by Hasim Tachi, the AFK, and Haradinaj. Socioeconomic reforms, national unity, and an agreement with Serbia are expected to be some of the new cabinet's 4-year key policies. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Ora News, thank you and good night.